welcome back and welcome Sharan to the lounge.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Excited to have you
Yes,
here.
we're very excited. We always start off the podcast with the question, what is your biggest for fuck's sake moment you've had in business to date?
I have thought about this a little bit.
In the shower?
In the shower. But, you know, I think I've had a very tumultuous career with my shop and with our businesses, and I feel like I sort of go one to one. I go every day, there's a moment of some sort. So I wouldn't like to suggest, there's been some up and down times, but I wouldn't like to suggest that I'm not a problem solver constantly. Do you know what I mean? So we seem to just go from, oh my God, this has happened. And then we solve that problem, then we solve another one. So I just have a continual, for fuck's sake, moment. It sounds very bad, doesn't it? There's lots of happiness, but there's a lot of, I think when you work in a business with a lot of staff and a lot of people, you tend to have those things.
Every day.
Every day. Like it's just an ongoing journey. Yesterday it was a delivery truck running into our new stone wall.
Oh, great.
I think
perfect.
and I was a little bit concerned about that because it took all the edge off it, you know, near the driveway. But I was a bit more concerned about him having to go back to his boss because he'd scratched all down the side of his face.
Dear.
So that's a bit of a saddie. But,
The wall okay?
Yeah.
yeah, hey, the wall's broken. It's broken.
No.
For fuck's sake.
The wall's broken. But never mind. Those things, it's a minor, isn't it, in a big world?
In the big scheme of things.
I think so.
But it does sometimes feel in business like it's like you get a little high and then it's like, oh my God, one thing after the next.
Yeah, it is. And it can run in a real thing. You know, often we'll go, oh, well, that's the third thing, you know, the usual thing. That's the third thing. Nothing else can happen. And then you seem to float along and then all of a sudden it's like bang, bang, bang again. You go like, seriously, how can this happen?
Who's haunting me?
Yeah, I know. It's like whoever did I run over? I've run over well. Yeah. But no. I mean, there's lots of lovely highs in amongst life, isn't there? Yeah. It's not always about that, but definitely over. Like I've been in business since I was 18, so definitely.
Wow.
There's been lots of those moments, where you think maybe even sometimes, you know, sometimes I even think I go to bed at night and think, wow, how am I going to deal with that? And you wake up and it's a new morning, you're fresh, and you just move forward. And that's how you do
like
it.
the proof from that many years that you've dealt with it for that many years.
Yeah.
So surely you'll get through tomorrow.
Yeah, that's correct. And I think someone once told me that there is, I think we all do, we all learn lessons from things that do go wrong.
Yeah.
And how we manage them. And then the next time something happens, you go, well, I managed that, so I'll manage this. And I don't mean that it's negative all the time, but when we are in this responsibility of dealing with staff and dealing with a lot of people and satisfaction, the service industry, it's a really big responsibility. Yeah, to be
huge.
Everybody's go-to.
Person.
Yeah.
We have a veteran business owner on the couch
I know.
today.
Yeah.
The son's good, guys. We won't talk ages or anything.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
But how many years have you been in business?
Oh, yeah, so I've been in business since I was 18.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the 59 plus 1 girls in 2 weeks.
59 plus
I cannot believe that. I cannot believe it. I feel like honestly, I feel like I'm in the best part of my life, you know.
Oh, that's
which is
amazing.
interesting, isn't it? I keep everyone saying, oh, I'm so busy, I want to retire. I mean, we've just taken on a new journey for us, you know, and I don't even think about that. Like everyone's always like going, oh, I can't wait to retire. I can't wait till I can see what we can do. You know what I mean? It's
you've got that entrepreneur in you.
Yeah, lots more to give and lots more to love. And I think that's just how it is. It's just how it must be how I've been made. I was born into business, and then just gone from there. Yeah, just gone. Yeah. So 18, I left school. I had a very sad leaving school. I was bullied, and I left school by my teacher, and I was going to.
Oh my God!
Really high classes, and not meaning that terribly, but like I was, you know, all inept with that, and I wanted to be a teacher. I just so badly wanted to be a teacher because I loved my teachers and all the rest. Anyway, even when my mum had never ever been to school with any drama, and she had to go to school because we just had a constant problem, and it was probably one of the first times you'd ever really spoke about bullying, and it was unfortunate that it had happened to our whole group basically in school.
Wow.
And anyway, I left school, and as you know, there's a bit of a journey back to our little shop that we've got now, but to go and be a prep cook, and my headmaster at the time said, you know, really, you should pursue your dream. You should actually come back to school, have 6 weeks off, holidays, come back to school and start year 12. I was offered a job by Ian Hockey, and I decided that I'd do that, and it was really hard because we had a group of friends, and then all of a sudden I had no friends because they were all at school. I was working at Bodalla in our hometown, but like I only just got my license. You know what I mean? It was just crazy, and it was just like I worked by myself most days, and but I had a real love for food. Like I learned a real love for food really quickly, and I didn't pursue my dream at all till a little bit later. But it was an interesting thing how your journey starts, isn't it? So I worked for a little while, and then my mum, who had a general store, not the one that we are in now, but one up the top, said, we could make you a little cafe if you wanted to.
Wow.
If we get this sorted, we can turn the downstairs room into a cafe. So I had Sharan's kitchen for probably about 5 years or so, like for a little while, and had a little cafe, probably way above its time then. Do you know what I mean? I remember coffee was in a percolated coffee. I had a coffee machine. That was a very big deal. We used to make hot chocolate, you know, in the microwave.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Toasted sandwiches, brownies, like, you know, like it was interesting. It was so, I think about it. And then that was when I actually learnt to cake decorator. I wanted to go and pursue myself and become a secretary. I thought maybe I should do that. Do a proper career. So I go to TAFE to be the secretary. I hated typing, like, because at that point, oh my God, I was so bad at it. I was so uncoordinated. Anyway, I'd gone 2 or 3 lessons anyway, and I could see something happening over in the corner of my someone over in the next TAFE building, and I thought, what's going on there? Anyway, as I walked past, I just peeked in, and it was cake decorating.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Anyway, and then it was a friend of mine, a family friend of ours, and she goes, "What are you doing, love?" And I said, "I'm learning how to type." And she said, "You shouldn't be learning how to type. You should be in here with us." And I said, "Well, maybe I will." Anyway, went home, thought about it, enrolled in the cake decorating. Become the rebel of the cake decorating class, but did 3 years of that, like on and off, 3 years of it, and like was always in trouble for making the wrong colours and having the wrong things on things, because it was very staid, like, and in that time it only just become a little bit more just towards the end. Like we went from a fruit cake to a mud cake just towards the end. That was a big deal. But before that, I had to do all the old-fashioned-y stuff that was great foundations. But like I was in trouble all the time. I was the baby.
I didn't know that you could be a rebel in cake decorating class.
Yeah, I know. I was just in so much trouble. I wanted to make.
We have the Bodalla's biggest cake decorating rebel. On the layout.
That's it. I'm in trouble. I was in trouble. So that's where I'll leave it off to. Yeah, I know. That. It's so cute. I could have been the secretary. I could have been typing. Becoming a legal secretary. But no, I decided that I'd do that. So, and then that's...
Sliding door moments.
Okay.
Sliding door moment.
Yeah, sliding door moment. And you know what? I made dog roses, which are like a bit like a normal... the loaf and blown rose, you know, and I probably threw them out, I'm not being rude, about 8 years ago. I had them in this bloody Tupperware container.
Oh, my goodness.
Right, and I thought they were the best things you have ever seen. And honestly, they were just like plasticine junk. It was hideous, but I was so proud of them that I actually could turn the petal to make a rose. You know, like I was just like so proud of it. But I guess it really amped my creative side. Like I'd always been a little bit creative, but it amped it to the max. So I did that, And then we had, which I mean you would have probably heard, but in Bodalla they had a very big embroidery group. And somewhere or other, after we closed my little cafe, I went off into hospo world for many years, and then I got married and decided that it probably wasn't good for me to be out all night, every night in hospo world. And Dave, he was working as a pastry chef, so maybe that a good thing to do as a wife was give up my nighttime job and get a daytime job.
Yeah.
So I went to TAFE and did work opportunities for women, which introduced me to a whole heap of things. It was a short course and introduced me to all these incredible creative people. And then I decided that I had a space at home, and decided we'd open a shop with all these local women. And then I just had that genre. We did that for it developed. So Ebony Rose become a thing for me, and then we moved it to Narooma and we come back. And that's when we started our journey with the bakery. I come back to, I'd had many lovely years with that. But as we all know, homewares can be a bit grueling and it can be a bit non-profitable.
Right.
To put it nicely. It's a bit of a passion project, I reckon. But, so anyway, that's where it all went. So I had a great early career. Yeah. Loved it. Cooked, waitressed, did things, wore high heels. And become the cake decorating rebel.
I love that.
I am definitely that. I can tell you.
How did the bakery come about then?
So the bakery come about, I had my Ebony Rose in Narooma. We'd shifted to a beautiful shop down there. Anyway, it was just probably location wasn't incredible, and we have had an amazing shop. And Davey had finished working at a local patisserie here, and had wanted to have a break, and he was milking cows, loving life, so he says. But anyway, and then some people asked us whether we would be interested in looking at the bakery, and I said to Dave, well, I'll have to give my shop up because, I have to work with you, and I was more than happy to do that. I was thinking about coming back home, I just had Locke, and so I had 2 children, and I just was thinking, that's probably is a good idea, maybe do something downsize and not have all the expense. So anyway, they said that they were going to buy the property, but they couldn't buy the property unless we would agree to go into the bakery. So we ummed and we ahed and thought about it, and then we just decided that we would do that. And it was in a pretty average state, and it took all our family and friends probably 4 or 5 days solid, night and day, to clean it, to get it to become manageable. Yeah. Which was unfortunate that it was like that, but it was terrible. And then, the night before we opened, I look at it now, I look at the photos, and I think we had 6 things in the cabinet, one drink fridge, and I was crying, putting the drinks in the fridge with my friend going, what if we don't sell anything? Oh, yeah. It was a really unknown thing. Risk. It had been super run down. And it just went like the clappers. It was just instant, and it was crazy busy.
Couldn't keep the drinks in the fridge.
And it was, couldn't keep the drinks in the fridge, let alone anything else in the cabinets. And then it just grew and grew and grew, which was amazing. Then the landlords did a pretty big renovation. Money was no object to them. So they did a bit of a big renovation, and it made it lovelier for us. And and we just grew. But we had some really tight times, I guess, and we had some really emotional times because, you've got to have had really good support through a lot of those things, I think. And we expanded because it's such a funny thing. We did wholesale bread and things because we thought at least it was money coming in. And we had everyone employed, so we might as well do the wholesale, and we had a very successful wholesale business. Anyway, we had an amazing business down in Narooma that was selling $3,000 and $4,000 worth of goods a week, right? And it was a video shop, and it was gangbusters, pies, bread, whatever. They were selling everything, and this opportunity came up to move to Narooma, and we thought, well, we'll do that. We'll give that a go because we're feeling a little bit unsettled. We'll really establish ourselves and make sure that we've got some some fallback. Yeah, that just did not work.
Yeah.
It just did not work. It was a major, major crisis.
Wow.
It worked for a little few bits, but location, just spreading ourselves too thin.
Yeah.
Having to employ more people. Wrong time.
Juggling.
Wrong time, wrong place.
And you mentioned that you had your children. So when you opened the bakery, how old were your kids?
Well, Locke could fit under the piers. We were talking about this. I figure he must have been just 5.
Yeah, okay.
And Kate's 7 years older. She was just at high school.
My goodness, that's a lot to juggle.
It was a lot to juggle. We're very lucky. We lived across the road. So we're truly
The
very
commute
blessed.
wasn't far.
And my mum had just retired. So then she was amazing. She was a godsend to us. So that was all very lucky. And look, you know what? There wasn't a day that I didn't walk through my front gate that I didn't feel that I was blessed to have it. You know what I mean? I did some media early in the piece and I read through it the other day. It brought so much joy.
Yeah.
Like so much joy to everybody. And I feel like that's been my life. That's been my life community, because I was brought, when we come to town, little towns are full of community, right? And as we discussed, and I think everyone's always discussed, after the bushfires, after COVID, that community changed so much. It's a much closer bunch these days. Right? We form ourselves extended families.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So the bakery has become obviously such a loved local institution. There's obviously a certain amount of responsibility that comes with holding space for that community.
Yeah, very much.
Do you feel that? What does that bring up for you?
It brings up for me just how blessed we are to actually be part of other people's lives, and how important we are. You know, like we don't, for the first few years, like we couldn't even close a day because we felt like we were just had to be there. Like we felt even to have a holiday. Like we've had a couple of holidays in those 20 years, and I mean that as in a couple, maybe 4 holidays, right?
Guys, we're talking 20 years.
I know.
Our Gen Z listeners.
Because you burn out.
So you have 2 options. You have to put the responsibility on somebody to run this show.
Yeah, that's huge.
Right.
Well, and the trust that comes with that.
trust.
Oh, yeah.
Because if
handing over
anyone
your baby.
knows about me, handing over things.
Yeah, and
Jesus.
like, you know what, I remember we were in Tasmania and I had an amazing girl that was my right-hand girl, and she said, "We can still take that wedding cake." Oh, I said, "Oh, I don't think so." No, we can still take that wedding cake. You'll be right. You just give me a FaceTime and we'll better do it. And I was like going, okie dokies. And I remember being in Tassie, just like FaceTiming it. No, put the flower there. No, put the flower there. No, put the flower over there. You know what I mean? Like, and it was like one of those things we'd left on a Thursday. The cake was made. Like David had finished it.
It was just
literally hours before we got on the plane. Like, and all she had to do was decorate it. We just laugh and laugh because it's just going it's just like you're in the car park at a park going, I don't know, take that off, put that on. You get a bit, I suppose you get a little bit controlling because it's so important. You have to, whatever you do, and if you want it to be done right.
Yeah.
I still now, if I walk past and somebody, without being disrespectful, I've got the most amazing group of girls at the moment working for us. Amazing. We're just amazing. It's just really been beautiful, the transition, and we've made it really good. But I still look at someone, if someone's gave someone a fork for a piece of caramel slice, I say, just one moment, I'll just come back, it's the really little things for me that makes everything work.
So many people on the podcast talk about the 1%ers, don't they? And those small touches.
Oh,
but that's your reputation.
That's what makes it that step above. I think if we learn anything, it's that,
And you know what? There's been times in our life, Dave, we're an incredible partnership. We've been married 36 years, 2 days ago. We've been married that long. We've worked together now for over that 20-year mark.
Wow. And you're still married.
And we're still married.
My goodness.
We'll just change the topic of the
there's those things, those things you just don't talk about. You know, those things that you don't talk about. There's certain things that you don't talk about when you work together with men. You just don't say. But, I think it's those little things that that it's those things that you be remembered by. It's those extra touches. And you know what? I think that little fish is sweet. Like, I very rarely say no to anybody. And it's not all about me. It's about, but I'm the driving force to actually make the decision. He's just the most amazing tradesman. He is an amazing tradesman. Like, I've seen him myself. I've put out lists on Monday, and we've been so full. Our books have been so full that he might have to make, like, it sounds bizarre, but like 43 rounds of chocolate mud cake or something. And I'm thinking, every day it's a battle getting through everything we have to do, let alone add that one. But he'll do it. He's amazing. He's got incredible skills, and I think that's good for me, because even though I, believe it or not, suffer a little tiny bit of anxiety or a little bit of talk in my head, I do that cake list 23 times on Thursdays and Fridays, like what I've got to do, what I have to do. And I think it's just the way you plan it, having it. But I'm telling you right now, compared to maybe 10 years ago, or even, I still do it. I still do it, and I think that's just about wanting it to be perfect.
Yeah.
I can't relax. I never can relax with that. I'm just like, if you're going to get something, it's got to be right. And if it's not right, I'm now transparent and say, like, if something happens, which sometimes occasionally something can happen, we're all human, I just now... maybe years ago I might have just went, oh, yeah, but now I just straight up. I feel like transparency is the key to everything. Yeah, we've just recently gone through having a pie review. Someone was floating through town. Yeah, and I dodged that like a bullet. I was just dodging it because, I just said to someone the other day, we just do what we do with love. Like, we just make what we want to do. It's very hard when you're caught up in the world of wanting to be like somebody else or having to do it.
Or I've traveled someone.
Or try to be. I've travelled. I mean, I keep up with travelled backwards and forwards to Sydney when Kate was doing her jewellery apprenticeship. I was seeing all the great stuff and all the things. But is it going to sell for your customer? I don't know. Is a little glazed, beautiful little bomb thing that you've got to sell for $11.50 going to sell? I don't know.
In Bodalla?
No, I don't think so. Like, we've tried that. Like, it doesn't work. Yeah. I mean, I remember when macarons become the big thing. We spent bloody months learning how to make them and do them, and be throwing them out by the dozen. Because, you know what I mean? You've got to do what you're comfortable with. Yeah. And I think and you've got to meet your market. You have to meet your market. Like, my time to shine is when we have high tea, or when we we do lots and lots of catering. When we do that, so for someone special, if we're doing christening or we're doing that, that's our time to shine. When we do all our fancy, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things, like this journey, this shop's different. It's a much different situation because I'm actually not being restricted now. I felt like I was very restricted.
Look at the smile on her face.
Yeah, I do. I feel so much more. I just feel so... I think us as a business, we just have... even in the first 10 weeks, we've just bloomed. Like, it's just everything we want it to be.
Look at her.
I know.
It gives me like...
it's just, it's all there.
And it's a hard work, 20 years to do what you want.
I know.
Yeah,
that's like...
And I feel like
you deserve
I have been restricted by space, maybe. As you know, our little shop was a tiny little shop. So we were always trying to fit as much as what we could in. Didn't have access for other things. But that was sort of the quaint cuteness of it too. Do you know what I mean?
It was disjointed too. Like, when
very
you come
disjointed.
In and sit, but like super cute.
I know, but very disjointed. Yeah. And we had really battled with that disjointed. Like, I can't tell you how much. And even personally, that even mucked with my mental health, because I knew I wasn't giving the people what I wanted to give, and people didn't get the absolute... just what I think we could have gave.
The level that you wanted to
The level I wanted to do. And it wasn't that I wanted to be anything more than what we are. But I just knew that it could be so much better. And we tried so hard to manage that. We tried so hard to manage it. And even with our staff, it really became a burden in the end. Like, because I felt like that for us, going forward, I could not see... how we were going to do that. I could not see how we were going to move forward again. We had approached about doing a reno. It didn't go down that well, unfortunately, and I just thought, you know what, we were just in a little bit of an abeyance, and I think you can be a little bit, you just sort of stay in a bit of a medium ground. So there was lots of things that were happening, and I just felt, and especially, obviously, as you know, we have our other store, and I could see it just like blossoming, and I just felt we were just getting left behind. And unfortunately, and this is an absolute truth, and I was feeling slightly, which it is both our businesses, like when we opened Gundry, it struggled like crazy.
Really?
Yeah, which you wouldn't think so.
No.
And we, both Kate and Locke worked. It was before Locke went away, and it was successful to a point, but it was really hard. It's tiny little kitchen, and just it was really hard work. And anyway, as I said, we were travelling backwards and forwards to Sydney. Anyway, we went to this cafe all the time, and they just had this beautiful big fridge, right? And we got to know them because you go, you know, for 4 days every month you go and you see them, and that becomes your home. And she was so lovely, and she said to me, "Oh, Sharan," foreign lady, "Oh, Sharan, you just need to have a fridge." And we had a fridge, but we didn't have a big fridge.
I need a big one.
I need a big ass fridge. So we invested, we come home, and after, when it became, just before COVID bushfire time, we got this big ass fridge. And the big fridge made a difference because we stopped having a menu. You know, these are the things that you have as challenging as going through business in every life. Sometimes you just have to go, nope, this ain't working.
Change.
We need to be honest with ourselves. We need to change.
Yeah.
And you need to be really devoted to that change, you know. Anyway, so we changed it with a fridge, and we had no more direct order over the counter. And what was in the fridge was what was happening, and changed overnight.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Fascinating.
This is at Gundry.
Yeah. It was always welcomed at Gundry because it's a great spot. Because it's out of the way. It's easy to pull up out.
Yeah.
Has lots of workers. Like, you know, like our bakery had a lot of trade, drop. But, people would go and had a very relaxed feel, you know, and it's amazing. And I can't say enough about, honestly, bushfires, and I think they had so much effect on everyone. But that changed our business completely.
So talk us through for the fires for you guys personally.
Yeah.
So was there a period of time that you had no power, closed?
Yeah, was. But this is very interesting. We stuck it out. One of my employees that I've had forever, she stuck it out with me until we had to leave. We were the only place that was open. Our power had just gone off, and it was raging in Narragunda and coming pretty close. If the wind hadn't changed, it would have took us for sure. Like if that wind hadn't changed, it was creeping
at the
in.
right time.
You know, I don't know how far it would have actually got, but you know, we'd experienced nothing like that. Not like everyone did. And you know, you're hearing things going like, Cabargo's gone, you know, now there's stuff in Bateman's Bay. How can there be stuff in Bateman's Bay? There's no trees there. What's going on? You know what I mean? And you're just in this awe, and these people are coming in. Your pie warmers are off, and they're going, "Can we get a feed?" You know, whatever.
Yeah.
And naturally, we had to leave. We had to work ourselves out, and so we stuck it out as long as we could. And then no power, of course, like everyone else. Like no power, no generators, no nothing, and we left for. I guess we come into Maria for I don't know. We probably come to Maria for the night, I think, and then we got a phone call.
You evacuated from
Bodalla. Because my mum lived with us, you know, and I just felt, like it was so
messy.
So messy for everybody. And everybody, everybody had their business that they were dealing with, like our staff, and like we just decided we'd pack up and we just put ice on the fridges, left, and then thought, my God, what are we going to find when we get back? What are we going to find? Anyway, we had got the phone calls were coming through, and Origin Energy, believe it or not, this is just a crazy story. Origin Energy needed food.
Oh my gosh.
And they had men by the 100. Like they had lots and lots of men. Anyway, then for the next 6, 7, it could have even been 8 weeks, We fed Orange Energy every single day, every single night. And I can remember Kate being on the phone going, well, I hate to tell you, if you want us to do this, we need some power.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get us some power because we can't feed your people with no power.
Yeah.
Like,
happy to feed them.
we can
Bring a
feed
generator
them.
or something.
We need a generator.
Yeah.
And so the power got restored, and we went home, and like everywhere else, covered in ash, filthy, dirty. And there was people had put out bins of water, and it was just like a bit of a war scene, really. And it wasn't that we were adversely affected there, but it was just everyone was in such big a preparation. Yeah. Anyway, we were probably the bloodline for that town because nobody opened. No one had. We were lucky, as unlucky as we being in the countryish area with suppliers, because you don't have the big suppliers. You have to often have 4 weeks stuff in advance.
Yeah.
We were lucky. We were able to really rally quickly, and we did that. I employed more people, get this, and we did that for 6 weeks. We fed, I think, 400 men every day, 24 hours a day.
Oh, my
it was nuts. It was just nuts.
Yeah.
And then, hilarious, come around, give us like 3 months and everyone getting over. I mean, no one got over it in 3 months. No. We get COVID. And then, hey, we get to get shopkeeper to help us through COVID because, everyone's closing.
Yeah.
We didn't get that because, unfortunately, we've been feeding Origin all summer and we made too much money. How could you believe it? So we've gone from yes, it was a lot of money, but it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
So we'd gone from being
and let's not forget why those 400 people were there.
Yes, I know.
They weren't just on holiday.
Yeah, it wasn't like we had our summer trade. Summer trade was gone.
It's not like you were like doing some epic marketing that was getting it was literally they were.
So I feel like those sort of moments, but you know what happened with that moment, especially in Gundry and especially with us. Those fires changed everyone started to actually support community. They support local. Never had before people ever supported like they did then. And they were like, they just changed everyone's world. I
think everyone's world became so much smaller, particularly when we got cut off from everything during the fires, and then we literally got told to stay home and don't leave your home or at least your tiny little town. It forced everybody to have this tiny pocket rather than.
And I don't know, can you remember the very first COVID run? And I remember my kids couldn't come out to have Easter with me, and I nearly had a conniption.
Yeah,
I just
it was really hard.
It was super, super hard.
Yeah.
Kate had just had Coop, and it was just super hard. It was just like we needed. Yeah, it was just really crazy.
And you had your mum still with you at the time too, so you had to be careful in that aspect.
So careful. And she didn't really have an understanding of it because you know what? This was a really new thing, wasn't it? Hey. And
bizarre.
then, you know what, as we all know, online shopping went mad. Thank goodness we're making cakes because you know what?
Everyone wanted a cake.
Yeah, everyone wanted something. But I did look through my books when I was cleaning up, leaving the bakery. There was just pages and pages of emptiness because no one had anyone over. No one celebrated, did they?
Well, this is it.
Very few and far between. And then we had this great idea because at that point we were doing high tea every month and special high teas for special things that we'd do high tea. We'd deliver high tea on
Yes.
Can you remember that? We delivered high tea.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
So we delivered from Long Beach to down in Narooma and we delivered 276 boxes of high tea.
My goodness.
How nuts was that?
That is insane.
I can't even begin to
people
tell you.
Nuts for that sort of stuff.
Anything food home delivery.
It was like,
it was the best ever.
It's
I think about it was so much work.
Eating.
We just went in, you just walked in and there was just like a tower of boxes, and you're going, holy diddly, you've got to make things to fit in those boxes, you know what I mean? And the logistics of it, the boys were out the whole morning just delivering, going different places. Yeah. But people still talk about that. And that was a really special time, really, because in actual fact, to actually be able to give someone something really special, because we really weren't doing too much, hey?
And I guess it was that point of connection with your business, with your community as well.
Yeah.
And I bet that those people getting that high tea were like, you know what, when that's back open, we're going to go there.
And they do. And they do. And, you know, and it was probably mostly customers.
Yeah.
You know, we just have a big range of customers, you know. And you know what? There's been like people now that I've done 3 generations.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I'm sorry, my 51 plus one's coming up.
Veteran, guys.
You're talking about that. There's been 3
I think
people.
for 51 plus 1, you need to be like given like a star or something, like a business like badge.
A business badge.
Like a star.
You're a Bodalla Walk of Fame.
You're a Bodalla.
Oh, I don't think so.
She's definitely in the Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
I just can't believe, like, we've only been talking for, 30 minutes, and it's like the amount of times you've had to pivot, change, build something completely new. It's just, and like, it's just blowing my mind. I'm like, you know, I'm onto my 2nd business, but just hearing what you've been through, I'm like, oh my God, like, this woman is, veteran.
And do you know what? It wouldn't happen without the support of family, and it wouldn't happen without the support of, and I do think I'm probably pretty driven. Like, I'm not driven.
Really?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not driven financially. That's probably my real.
I getcha. Yeah.
I don't think I'm driven financially.
Not like you, Em.
No. I'm not saying that I wouldn't like to be in a different security position that we are.
Yeah.
But we've had a couple of really major fails, and I think that has made things better, really, not worse. Do you know what I mean? A better understanding of your business.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important. I think anybody that goes into business to actually really gauge what's going on around you. Hey, like,
particularly in a small area.
oh yeah.
And then if you're servicing a small area and you don't know what's happening, well then.
Oh, you know, like, I mean, like, you go anywhere, and like, we'd go anywhere, and someone would say something about, oh, what do you do? And then they go, oh, the bakery, oh, Bodalla Bakery, we know that. And it's sort of like a really lovely chuff thing moment. But then it also gives you something that you really can't. I guess I've been in the public eye all my life. So from when my mum and dad come to town, like, I was 5, so we had a business then, do you know, and we had a business. The only time when I haven't really been in is when I've done the prep cooking, where I've been by myself, and other than that, I have been in doing something and working for community all my life. And I thought about it, you know, like, I've had some really amazing, great experiences doing charity work for people. Amazing, like funding the Happy Harold van, which you know that we you know that was at school.
My goodness.
We made enough money to buy the first van. And funding for Camp Quality, like, we used to do that. I've always been the baby of the group. It cracks me up now because now I'm not, but I've always been the baby. I've always been added on, you know, oh, you should come to that. Worked for the Show Society, you should come, you know. Yeah, breast cancer, like, we've done lots and lots of amazing things with that, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. I think that's giving back is my thing. I think people can sometimes be a little bit selfish and they don't give back. I think giving is a really important part of having a country small business. Like, I think our business is small by any stretch of the imagination, but I think, you know, you have to work hard. It's not for the faint-hearted.
No. Can I, not to put a negative note on the episode, but can we touch on some of those fails that you've had?
Yeah, I was about to ask the same thing.
We don't have to go into details, but like, I think that it's something to be said about how you've picked yourself back up after those fails and like continued on. Yeah. You know, and a lot of business owners listening.
Oh, for sure.
Are worried about those fails.
Oh, and you know what? A lot of business owners don't pick back up.
Yeah,
right? They just walk away, and that's what's happened. So our first major fail was when we went to Narooma. We had 2 goes at... Well, no, we didn't have 2 goes at Narooma. We diversed. But our first major fail was then. And this is not to be negative. And it's not that it doesn't... Should say this, but it's not that it doesn't affect your mental health, because it does. It does. You're only one person.
You're only human.
You're only human, right? And the actual... baggage that comes with that can be very traumatic, and it has been for me. Like, I know myself. Yeah. And for our family. And even for the kids. But anyway, our major fail, that's what we did. I said to you that we were hoping we were having a dispute about rent.
Yeah.
We were hoping to get ourselves out, maybe, and get ourselves some security. We went to Narooma. It had been, the place where we went to had been a bakery all of its life.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't it work for us? Okay. We over-capitalised in setting up.
Yeah.
Because it had been a bit tired. Things like the wall that should have cost $1,500 probably cost us, $5,000, those sort of things. So we got a little bit behind in the whole tax world, and then it just produced a ongoing thing. We didn't particularly not owe anyone any money, but once you get to where you can't make your commitment and you're not getting enough revenue, and listen, honestly, the absolute crux of any business is your money. Unfortunately, and a lot of it is to do with cash flow.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a big, heady cash thing floating around somewhere, or you don't have access to a lot of money, well, you know what? A lot of people, I'm not being rude, a lot of people just don't ever say anything, but they just bloody put more on the mortgage. And they just keep their business floating and floating, and they don't care because they think it's 30 years on, and we didn't even have a home. We lived in our family home.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. And long story cut short, we were struggling pretty hard anyway, and then the manager of the plaza at Narooma come knocking on my door and said, we'd like to offer you a shop in the plaza. And I went, hey, we're not doing very good here. We're struggling trying to keep Bodalla, it was still going well, but struggling with people and just overextended.
Yeah.
Overextended. I said to him, I don't think we can do it. And he goes, look, I've got your back. He said, come on, come up here. He said, let this go, come up to us. I've got your back.
Right.
And I had to fess up to him. I've had to do a lot of confessions. I said, we've got no money, Mark. I've got no money to set up this.
Yeah.
We've just done this. I've got this hanging over my head. I don't know if we're going to get through. I've got no money. And he said, it's all right. He said, I've got your back. He said, we'll set it up, whatever you want. So we did do that. And he did, unfortunately, and I'm not proud to say this, but unfortunately we went bankrupt.
Yep.
We had to, because we owed too much money to the tax department. That was all we owed. We didn't owe anything else. But that black cloud was horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Really
horrendous.
Tough.
And it was super hard because we're running a great business.
Yeah.
We're running a great business and everything looked okay, but just the whole monetary side of it was fucked. To be honest, it was just, and because we'd overextended.
Yeah.
So he sort of gave us a breather there, and we but in actual fact, in due respect, we were just a little bit too soon for what was going on.
Yeah.
The plaza hadn't had its refit.
Yeah.
It was still struggling. There was just not enough people.
Yeah.
And anyway, they had been really, really good. They had been super good, and they were really understanding. And we decided after a few years, and he helped us manage everything, that we just go back to home base.
Yeah.
We needed to go back to home base.
Yeah.
And but it did not leave us without being scarred, because we had to pay all that back.
Yeah.
And so our business had to rebuy our business.
Yep.
So every single thing, I call it my 83 pages of my life. Everything gets photographed, and
my goodness.
you have to pay it back.
Yeah.
Or you have to walk away, and I wasn't willing to walk away.
Wow.
But it was a fresh start. And we started, sorry.
You're so fine. This is so emotional. And it's such a, I feel so incredibly lucky to hear your story.
Yeah.
And how you know, you've picked yourself up time and time and time again. Like, this is quite a while ago that this happened.
Yes, it is.
And I think this is what, you know, when people are considering opening business, there's always risk. And I think this is where they think the story ends. But I think the most inspiring business people that I've ever spoken to are the ones that this does happen. And actually it happens more, like you said, like it actually would happen to a lot more people. Like if you had a mortgage, if you had something that you could have leveraged, it wouldn't have happened. And I've personally been in that situation where I've leveraged my mortgage to save my business.
Yes,
and
for sure.
You know, and I'm so incredibly blessed that I was in that position. But I think from the outside, unless we talk about this, it's not actually known that.
Look, and you know what? If I had my way and had my world, I would help people navigate this.
Yes.
Right?
You are. You literally are right now.
Yeah.
Your voice is helping that.
Because a lot of people wouldn't have that bravery right now to even admit that.
And there's people sitting at home, like with whatever size business, whether it be one-man band, operating with staff, that are looking at their spreadsheet. And I think, you know, it's this sort of thing that if you've got a business, you're succeeding, or that you have tons of money.
Or you've got tons of money.
And that's just not the truth.
It's not always the truth. And look, there's lots of things. But this day and age, I'm not being rude. You think about it. When we first come to Bodalla, our electricity was $147 a week, right? The last bill, weekly bill I paid at our store was $846 a week.
Like that.
I know it's a week.
A week, people.
A week,
not
people.
a quarter. A week.
I know the bills are insane.
And a lot of that was due to, without being any whit derogative, our situation about how our business could run with today's expenses in a substandard building. Only due to the fact of not upgraded electricity. You know, things like that. Those things are so important. Yeah, so I mean, like our new building, we just got the electricity bill, and it's like $354 a week. Okay, $500 saving.
And like
but
that
that's just things that you have to foresight, that you need new equipment, you need new, and that's something on the other end. And hopefully, without any disrespect to our former landlords who gave us the opportunity that made us what we are, right? And I would never say anything more than that. But if you're a landlord, please look after your people. Right? Make sure that you do that, because business is freaking tough. It's super tough. And something as simple as that, yes, it's money out of their pocket, you pay them rent, but something of that makes those people be able to cope.
And to stick around. Like if you've got healthy tenants.
And to have been there for so long. And some simple things.
Just some really simple things.
I think it just comes back to like what we're all taught as kids, isn't it? Like treat others the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, for sure. And look, you know what? Yeah, we've been given those opportunities. I can't thank sometimes you picked up and you cared for, which is really special. Like, and that was what happened when we went bankrupt. We were picked up, we were cared for. Our lawyer looked after us incredibly well. Like he went to bat for us, but said, you know, I remember that day he rang and he said, well, this is a pretty dark cloud, darling, but he said it's a silver lining. He said you can start again. But it was just come with so much baggage. And so much, even personally, because I'd been trying so hard to keep it all together, trying so hard thinking that every week it would work out. It doesn't. It just swallows you. Like debt swallows you, because, you know, we're not talking that you get a little bit of interest, you get a whole heap of interest. And people just need to know that. They need to be super upfront. No, you need to have a great accountant, which we thought we had. Which is another story that is frightening. Frightening when you trust people. Can be just super frightening.
And this goes back to, you know, trusting anyone in your business.
It's super hard.
Could be staff,
detrimental.
You know.
And that's happened. That's happened over our time. We've had a couple of situations, and I think most people have that situation. Yeah, look, I mean, it's a super, super hard thing to actually say and to admit. I think people, I'm very up vibe, but I suffer quite a bit of anxiety. I don't think people know that. And I have had that since I had Locke, and my life just changed. I'd gone from being really able to cope to not being able to cope. He was a bit of an unsettled bub. And, Kate, I had 3 days off work, and Locke had 12 months. Is it a boy thing? I'm not quite sure.
Oh, maybe it's a boy thing.
I got 2 of them.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just...
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose, I had a little... Like, my mum at that stage filled in the gaps, and I had a little, gorgeous little homeware store. So, I mean, it wasn't like it was... we weren't at the bakery at that point, but it still didn't matter. I was hands-on all the time, and, I took Kate to work with me 3 days later, but, oh, no, not Locke. No. That was, the biggest kicker of my life, 12 months off work and just, rocking a pram. He's turned out to be an amazing person, thank goodness. He's up there. All kids are amazing.
That gives me hope. After my morning.
Oh, no. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But, so, I mean, it was a big journey, and that as we know, that's a 7-year journey. That's a 7-year journey that you can't leave the country. You can't. Not that we had any time or money.
Because you were going to jet set off and all.
Yeah, likely, but you're not allowed to. I did miss my best friend's wedding in Fiji. We couldn't go, and I don't know whether we would have, but. Yeah, there's no passport.
It's so...
We worked out, you work your way around the Telstra bill. It's just, people just don't understand. But that's because we chose to keep going.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't choose to keep going and you just put your hand up, every other day someone's bankrupt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They walk away, they never pay anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we chose to keep going. We managed to get, I think, our first... 83 pages I had to pay about $400 and something thousand back, which was unsurmountable for me. And Mark Anderson, who was our landlord at the plaza, negotiated that down for us like crazy.
Wow.
And we ended up being able to pay minimal money back, which was amazing, which was probably the biggest thing that anybody could have ever done for us. Yeah, but it was such a daunting time, and to get over that. And our staff, we lost a bit of staff because I was trying to be so transparent with it. I'm trying to say, maybe you might need to get another job.
Yeah.
No one was listening. One was listening. And I just said, maybe it's gonna happen. Anyway, it did happen, and we did start again, and then we just had to form a different sort of world, and come back and just reboot ourselves, and things changed.
You are just the gift that keeps on giving. My goodness. I am just wary of where we're up to.
Yeah.
And I just want to bring us forward to
the new business.
The new busy.
I'm excited to hear about this.
And I actually, can we start on the new business? Because when I came and met with you just before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes.
The story behind the new business and the location is
just
epic.
Okay. It's so special.
Tell us, this is special.
Yeah. So, life was just going along smoothly, and things were in a good place, sort of, you know what I mean? We were just well, we didn't really, I was, to be blatantly honest with you, I was thinking and seeking that I might do some other things, right?
Okay.
And to do some corporate catering and just do some different things that fulfilled us a little bit better.
Okay.
Because I was feeling a little bit complacent that I wasn't giving enough at the shop, and I was feeling a bit tired with it, and I'd lost my little buzz a little bit. But I was feeling well in myself being and my happiness, but I wasn't where I wanted to be, business-wise. But I was just cruising with that, as you do, because you just do everyday life, don't you?
Yeah.
That's what you do. You got all these people that depend on you, and you just get up in the morning and you do it with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
I think we were all in the same. We were all trotting. Poor Davey was going up and down the hill, because when the bakery is, that's what we were walking up and down the hill. The gentleman in Maria contacted me and said to me, do you know anybody that would be interested in the Malibu Mex site. And I went, God, no. I said, oh, don't tell me what's going on. He said, oh, well, our current people have got behind. They can't cope. They haven't been able to pay rent for 12 months. Like, what a great man. Let them do that. Like, being so generous and kind.
That is beautiful.
That's a great thing.
Yeah.
He tried very, very hard.
Yeah.
They had an amazing little business. It just didn't work for them. And that's no disrespect. Amazing chef and great people.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just time and place, I feel. Like, you know, season and a reason. Anyway, and he goes, so you don't really know anyone? And I went, no.
And the cogs are ticking.
He says, you wouldn't like to do it. Would you like to have a look? And I went, no. Oh, I don't, maybe.
Meet me there in 5.
I'm out the front now.
Saturday. Anyway. And I said, I rang Kate, and Kate said, yeah, Darren's been in, and he said, you know, you might be, and he said, he's pretty keen. He said that you might be interested. What do you think, Mum? She says, I think it's an omen. We should do it. And I said, Kate, we haven't even gone and had a look. And she goes, because she's driven as, like, I
wonder where she got that from.
We call her baby boss. That's what we've always called her, because when we reformed, we had to form a company. She's the head of the company. We just call her baby boss. And don't dare. Yeah, don't go with not the baby boss. You've got to go with the baby boss. She's a power to be reckoned with. Anyway, she goes, yeah. So I said to them that we'll meet him on Saturday. And I went, okay, let's do this. As we know, the story behind this is that when we come to town, my mum and dad and myself, I'm an only child, we bought that shop. We bought that shop as a general store.
Oh, my goodness.
Right. So I grew up in that shop and had many, many memories. But my mum and dad, my dad left a few years after we bought it, but my mum worked from, 8 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night, and it was a grueling business. And at that point, a general store had everything. It had ice creams, it had lollies, it had cigarettes, it had pinball machines, it had a jukebox, it had a dairy cabinet, an ice cream, like the ice cream cabinet. Like, I can still remember all those things. And it had like a little cafe that the men that used to go past in the trucks used to sit and have nighttime counter meals, right? Like takeaway food, made hamburgers. Like when we first got it, you would just crack up. There was a direct line to the hotel, right? And the phone would ring and it'd be the hotel.
Oh my God.
And it was a direct line, and it was like an old-fashioned phone, and you'd pick it up and they'd go, oh, yeah, can we have some chips and some hamburgers? And then they'd come down and go backwards and forwards. God. It was so cute. And then we had a full, like, little grocery shop. Like, so that was all in this store, and that's what I was brought up in. So I was brought up into that. And then when... same deal. My mum really struggled with that at times. You know what I mean? It was hard for a woman. It was hard to be even thought of being separated woman in those years.
Yeah.
Right? And she was managing this thing.
My goodness. Like, I'm thinking about how old she would have been.
Yeah. I never think too hard about that. I never get the age thing right about it. But
and
so I was 5. I was 6 when we come to town.
It wasn't until the 1950s that women could even open their own bank account.
I know.
So I know. I don't know about like the heads of a company, but
so,
obviously,
you know what I mean. So working and
that would have
working
been
all the time,
way
and we
before
were there,
her era.
and we were just I was just brought up into this world, right? And then, unfortunately, it just got too much for her, and then there was an offer for her we closed, and she went, and we had 2 shops. Like, my dad was thinking he was an entrepreneur, bless him. We had 2 shops. We had one up the road where we live, opposite the bakery, and we had one down the road. One down the road, and one up the road was a little bit more sedate and quiet, didn't have any cafe or anything. It was just another general store. Anyway, it's hard to believe. And then there's a butcher's. Hard to believe what happens in a little town. And it had more fruit and veg and stuff. Anyway, God, it was, anyway, we decided to close that one. It was just too much work. And Mum got an offer straight away for someone to buy it. And it was a local young surfer, Ian Hockey, who is a legend. Mm-hmm. He wanted to buy it and turn it into a Mexican restaurant. So that's what happened. It was the first time my mum had ever had a cent in her life, because it's just the way it went. Mm-hmm. When you left, when you have nothing. Do you know what I mean? Mm. We were lucky we had a house. And I remember that she had probably 2 or 3 months off work, and then her friends changed over and bought the pub, and then she became a cook at the pub. But then she actually did part-time work for Ian, and then it's just crazy. But anyway, he made this amazing restaurant, right? So he made an amazing restaurant. Then he actually had like it for years. Everybody has a Malibu Mex story, mm-hmm. or at that time it was Mexican Munchies.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was the red and yellow carpet, mm-hmm. the dark booths. It was very cute. And anyway, it was a legend. Anyway, and then he sold it to Rob Pollock, mm-hmm. and it went down for a little while, and they did the same thing. And then there was a little bit of something go on there, and then Ian recreated. He come back in. He had a few, probably maybe 10 years off, I'd say. He come back in, then he did all that amazing work, all that amazing stonework, and made it what it was today until I got in there. But anyway, so we were offered the story. We were offered the place. I looked at it. I walked in the door. I cried immediately. I thought,
we know that's a yes.
I think that's a yes. Anyway, David was very quiet. He sort of looked at me, and Darren and Mark said to me, you know, it's yours if you want it, if you want to do this. And they said, we realise it's going to be a very sensitive situation. I said, yep, it is, because for us to leave what we've made and what we've done, plus we have to leave our name. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which, once again, silly, young people, 20 years earlier, not having a good person to look after us, mm-hmm. didn't read the fine print that when we left we'd have to leave the name. Okay. So, but I knew that. But I was willing to bet on our reputation, and I was willing to start fresh. Now, that seems really bizarre to people, but we were given such love when we put the very first poster up and just said, we'll be moving down to the Malibu Mex site, you know, it'll be this. The people were just so responsive, and they were so good. We had no negativity, which was great. The only thing was they probably all went, where are we going to park? It was
I think the parking's better there.
It's fantastic. Yeah. So we've got a huge car park, and people park across the road, people park up the road. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy with it. And then I guess it was just about creating a space and a journey and having everything I wanted. Not being rude, but everything, because I felt that I had to abide by what Bodalla Bakery meant to people. Mm-hmm. I felt slightly trapped.
Constricted,
that I couldn't really give the experience I wanted to.
Yeah.
I wanted the openness. I wanted people to sit and talk. I wanted people to be able to have it as their place. And I did have that, but I just didn't have it to...
How you wanted it.
How I wanted it. And it's not about... Sorry. When I say about how I wanted it, it's about how we as a family
how you envisage it.
Yeah. And this is a family journey for us now. Yeah. Like, I mean, you know, and it ties... It's so funny. It ties with by calling it Bodalla General, it was an ode to Mum. Mm-hmm. It's an ode to Mum. It's an ode to the building. Like, it was, I haven't got many pictures, but the pictures that we've got, it's just like this freaking quaint, gorgeous general store. Mm-hmm. And it's something like I've always wanted to sort of maybe go back to, I think. Yeah. Like, just have that it's your go-to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And eventually I want it to be the go-to that you pick up maybe a meal at night that's going to save your day. You know what I mean? I wanted to do that. I wanted to have the big... laughing about another fridge. I've got a bit of thing about fridges. got a big ass black fridge, that's full of beautiful food every day. Where we were restricted, we only had a tiny little fridge that had a few sandwiches.
And now we got a big ass fridge.
Yeah, I've got a big ass fridge. There's always point on that. When we were writing our list of stuff, and then I kept on putting the big fridge. No, we can do without that.
Priority.
I need my big fridge. Yeah, so that's where we're at, and so now it's been 23rd of December. Yeah, it was crazy opening then, but we pushed and pushed.
23rd of December.
Yeah. Or maybe 22nd. What day was Christmas? It was only a couple of days.
But it was on the Thursday Christmas. So
sorry, it was the Monday. So it was the Monday.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the 20.
Yeah.
No, it was maybe 21st. Maybe 21st. Yeah.
It was all a blur anyway.
It was all a blur, and it was pretty tetchy that first week. But it's settled into being and everybody has been joyous.
Oh,
everybody has walked in and went. And yesterday I had a girl that grew up coming to the coast with her family, and she walked in, and I was speaking to a lady, and I just connected and went, "Hi, how are you?" And she goes, "Great." And as she walked out, she said to me, "Oh my God, it's just like when your mum was here."
Oh.
And it's funny because it's not. It's modern, and it's pink, and it's white, as you know with me, and it's airy and it's beautiful, but it has a beautiful vibe, and it just has
it's the energy,
it's the energy that it's ours, and it's just no drama, and it's just what we want. And you know what, I mean, at our age, I just wanted something for the community to be theirs. I felt like a community is what drives it all. I think community around you, your customers, your people. There's some people that I've had in my life that, like I said to you, I've had 3 generations. Yeah. I've made cakes for 3 generations, Or they'll ring, it's hilarious. Like, there's things that happen, they ring and go, "So you made Uncle Harold's cake." And that was probably 5 years ago. But if we could have something similar to that would be great.
Yeah, because I remember Uncle Harold.
Like I've made about how many cakes?
500 cakes between then.
Oh, well, more. Thousands of cakes.
Just remind me what we did.
Yeah, I have to say that. I have to go, just remind me that they are the moments that I love the most, probably, those moments, and the other moments that I get now, and I always swear blind, cake shows should never be put on Netflix because it gives people total dismay about what you can actually do. And they'll go, so I'm just sending you a photo. And I'm like, okay, yes. So I send the photo, and it could be a 3-tiered cake or something. I say, how many people you got? Oh, 6. Okay. So what do we do with this? Oh, well, I was thinking maybe could it be like that, but for 6? I said, yeah, no. Unless you want it the size of a cookie. You know what I mean? And I used to have to jolly people
start making miniature tiered cakes.
I know, like tiny little cakes.
Maybe that's a new business.
The eye rolls that I get from David when I go any smaller than 5 inches, and I'll go, because that's 5 inches, quietly, and he'll go, "What did you say?" And I'll say, "That's 5 inches," and he goes, "Yes." And off he goes. I always get the 5-inch cake, but the cakes, the smaller, they get but anyway. But that's it's so trivial, and it's such a first world problem, really, but it's just hilarious. You get it time and time again. People sending these elaborate, beautiful things, and then they'll go, "Oh, we have 3. Okay, no worries. We just have to make it happen."
Oh my goodness.
Or the other thing is they want to write the verses of the Bible basically onto their cake. That's the other thing. And I try to be very diplomatic, and I say, we all know whose birthday it is. We don't need to write that message. We just need to have it beautiful for them. I have a way of working that one out. I just stupid people. Happy birthday, Martha, from your family and your nana and the dog and such, and they want a cake about this big. And
that's not going to fit, babe.
Possibly fit on there. It's so trivial, but it's what you deal with every day, and you just have to learn a way to jolly it along, I guess. And I suppose I'm lucky. I've got a really open personality, and I can just be sometimes really Yeah, I just make it fun.
That's so good.
I don't really think we need that. Like, without going, don't be stupid. It's just, unrealistic. So, yeah.
Do you have a quote that you live by?
I do. I always say to people, little fish are sweet.
Oh,
and people go,
yeah,
what does that mean? And I mean, and I think about it, and I think that I very rarely say no to anybody about helping out or doing things for people. Like, I have people ring and want 5 sandwiches, because they don't want to make them for their morning tea. And I still say yes. A lot of people would say no.
Yeah.
But I feel like the customer that comes in the door and buys one sausage roll every day is as important as my big stuff that is thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars, or only when they need it to be. I also reflect on that in my career. I've done everything from dish handing to head girls in restaurants to having my own business to working at a checkout. And somebody used to say to me, like, I did a mid-shift when I was just first married at a local supermarket. They come into a restaurant, and he came into the restaurant one night and he goes, oh, I'm looking for such and such. And he goes, actually, you could do this. And I said, yeah, no, I don't think so. And he goes, yes, you could. You could just come and do it for 3 weeks. I stayed for 3 years doing the mid-shift, the princess shift, which we always love. But you know what? You've got to be respectful of all those things. Anybody that does anything makes your life better. Hey, really?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I think have respect for people. You don't even have to agree with what they do, but have respect.
Definitely.
Because everybody's got their own journey, and with respect just makes it so much easier to go through life. So I think if you're a little fish, you're part of a big community, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
That little fish has got to survive.
Yeah.
And if you weren't running the general store / bakery,
I don't know what she'd be doing.
Yeah.
I'd be a florist.
I'd
be a florist.
Teacher. I was like, what, is she going to tell us teacher?
No, I'd be a florist.
A florist.
I
see you being
pursued
a
my dream in
florist.
between my career, and I become an adult literacy teacher.
Okay.
So,
My goodness. What haven't you done?
I did, which I didn't get to do very much because I got caught up in my bakery journey, which has been my journey,
my
really.
goodness.
But yeah, I'd definitely be a florist.
I can see you doing that.
Yeah, and
that adds up.
just watch your space. It might even work.
Oh my God.
You've got the scoop.
I got the scoop.
On the Bodalla General.
Sharon, it has been.
And we're not going to even say a word, but perhaps, definitely there's going to be some Mexican nights. Cocktail hour's going to be on.
We all like a spicy mug.
Yep, definitely.
It has been an absolute pleasure. What a
Thank
roller
you.
coaster of a conversation.
Laughed, we've cried,
Literally, my hairs have like gone up and then back down and then up.
Thank you so much.
I really have enjoyed watching you talk about the journey and how emotional you get, and the pride that you have about your business, and when you talk about your partner as well, your husband, the respect that you talk about him after working together for that long and being married.
Do you know what? It's been a little bit of a journey this now for me, just this very quick, just now with our last where we are, because when we did the design, I was pretty pedantic about what's nice and what's not and how I want it to work, and we obviously had a very big premises. Our bakery was over a big space, and we had to squishy into a great, nice, modern space, right? But it was pretty tight. And anyway, of course, in this journey, I was supposed to have this beautiful big cake room. And so we had it all fitted out, and he goes, I don't really want part of this. And I said to him, okay, no worries, you can stay out in your place. I'll just have this room for my room. We'll use it for class. We'll do such and such. Right. Yeah. Anyway, first, because we gave ourselves 3 days. Don't ever do this. But we gave ourselves 3 days. We closed on the Friday. We opened on the Monday. We had been unpacking stuff for months. 20 years of Sharan is not great, I can tell you. But 20 years of business creates a lot of stuff.
My God, right? Yeah.
And for the weeks we'd had mess, and anyway, and then next minute I go in and the big mixer's in my room, and then there's something else is in my room, and then something else. I said, are you actually going to come into this room? And he said, well, yeah, there's no room out the back. I said, oh, so now I have to share a bench and look at him every day.
Oh, no.
And he said to me the other day, why are you so cranky at me? And I said, I'm not. But I said, you need to move out of my space. So now I'm actually head-to-head with him and in the mornings, and it's different because I didn't see him before. I'd see him random. So let's hope that this still works.
I think after 36 years and 20 years in business.
We're getting into a routine. We've got a routine, but it was just hilarious. But I was going to have this great big space, and I ended up sharing it. But that's okay. And I'm sure. And he said to someone, he said, "Oh, do you like it? Do you like it here?" And I heard him say, "Oh, yeah." And he said, "Oh, well, I see much more Shaz now." Oh. And I thought, well, it's really nice. I mean, it's been a hard change for him, to be honest. Like, it was a really hard change because I'm a go girl. Like, as you can tell, I go girl, and Kate, like, the kids are too, like, because they've watched me do it.
I was going to say, they have no other way.
And like I said to you, a magician. Change is hard. When you've done one thing one way for 20 years and then all of a sudden you just got all this thing going on and being in the public eye, because we have an open kitchen. So that was my desire to have that. Yeah, they were swinging doors there and I didn't like them, so that was it. They went, and we had this gorgeous little open kitchen, so he can see, which is great because he understands now the pressure of the business and how it gets, where before he was downstairs. I guess, it's just change, isn't it? And it's just so good. I mean, it's all full of excitement and nice. There's so much more to look forward to, I think. And I feel so blessed. Like, honestly, full circle. How could you not be blessed?
I know.
Full circle.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah.
And it did come. It came with a lot of commitment and money too. But just so happy with how everyone's felt, and just everyone's just been elated. So and we are elated. I feel like, I feel like a new woman. I just feel so fresh. You know what I mean? Like, and just so excited about the journey and what we can do and what we can offer, and just relaxed, and I think that's really important. And I think I've probably lost a little bit of my expectation, because now this is our family's journey now, and that only comes with time, I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah, but thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Make sure you go and follow, subscribe, share, leave a 5-star review on any of the streaming platforms where you listen to this podcast.
Thank you. It means so much to us.
And we will see you in the next episode.
Catch ya.
Bye.